And we are 100% live here on YouTube. How are you, everybody? So let me just join the chat as well so I can see the chat. Let me just join the live from my phone so I can see the chat. This is like our mini ritual every time we do a live stream. Because every time I do a live stream, I have to get into my phone and join like the live stream from my phone so I can see the chat. So here we go. All right, perfect. How is everybody? How are you? It's been almost the end of May and the market just opened. So I decided to do a live stream and show you guys, go through my charts and show you guys what is going on, how this month is going to close. Are we like, I don't know, are we going to have a profitable month after like a huge losing streak? I'm like so excited to get this month going and to see what this week is up for. I do have my charts here and we are looking at gold in the 4-hour time frame, but we are not jumping straight into that. I hope you enjoy this setup. Every time I do change a setup to find like a really good one, and I feel like this is going to be my corner from now on. I have my little diffuser here, I have my plants, a little painting, and I know this is like a little empty, but sooner or later I am going to make it work. My glasses are over here, I'm not going to wear them. We have our lights and everything. So how is everybody? I want to hear your news. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear how life is going. How is your life from 1 to 10 today? I would, if I were to put a number on this month, I would put like a solid 8.5. I would put a solid 8.5. And I think that this is a good number to like start off. I don't want to hear any depressive stuff like 6 or 7 or whatever. I don't want to hear anything below 7. I want to hear 8. I want you to be an 8, a 9, or a 10. I don't take nothing below that as an answer, just so you know. I have my filtered water here by my side and my notes. So let's just straight dive into it. And I am going to say something so real right now. We're going to talk about trading. Before we jump into the chart analysis, I want to talk about the mindset a little bit. So I'm just going to say something so real right now. If you're 1 million miles away from a goal that you have and you take one step, then guess what? You're 1 million miles minus one step closer to achieving that goal. So every drop of progress matters, especially in trading. Every drop of progress matters. There is a Chinese saying that it goes something like, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. So this basically means that the best time to start anything is actually now. Don't be afraid. Don't worry at the beginning. It's okay if you're not 100% ready, because you'll never be 100% ready. Just do what you have to do right now, right here. And this can be applied not only to trading, but to everything in life, right? Let's say, for example, that you see other traders online and you see that they're using like multiple screens or different software that you don't even know how to use and you're intimidated by it. Let's just break it down and take it step by step. You only have one screen from your laptop and this is the only thing that you can use. Perfect. Let's start there. And when you need the other screen, you can buy the cheapest one, right? So let's just talk about the software. You're intimidated by software. You're intimidated by TradingView, for example, which is one of the most popular trading software and trading chart analysis website ever. Just take 1 hour out of your day to like make it happen, to get familiar with it, to know how it works little by little. You don't have to do everything overnight. So I'm just going to say like a personal story of mine. I have downloaded recently Photoshop, and in order to like create thumbnails and like enhance my videos or whatever. And it's been a really big nightmare for me. I was like so intimidated by it. And when I tell you I was disgusted, when I opened Photoshop, I was 100% disgusted by it. But practice makes perfect, right? So just taking it step by step, little by little, and focusing on that, like 1 hour a day, it makes you better over time. It makes you better over time. And again, you cannot do anything in one night, overnight. This is what I believed when I first started trading. The first 2 weeks that I started trading, I was like, okay, I am going to learn this strategy. In the third week, I am going to master it. And within 1 month, I could make some serious money. Now, obviously, this is not realistic. And it took me a while to realize that trading is not a get-rich scheme. And I can talk about it all day, but the only way for you to actually experience that is to have experience, is to literally trade yourself and see that this is not a get rich scheme. Point blank, period. Right now, I chose Forex over futures just because with Forex, you can start with literally $50. You can put $50 into an account and start trading most of the instruments. While in futures, you really need a big chunk of capital to get you started in order to buy or sell these contracts that they're out there. So with Forex, you can start really small. So it's like a good practice for you if you want to start with real money, right? I currently use Oanda, and I just use Oanda because I like how friendly the software was, and I really like their logo. And as far as Forex brokers are concerned, the most popular ones have like the same fees and overnight fees and spreads. So spreads is actually the fee that you pay to the broker every time you place a trade. And the overnight fees, if you're a swing trader, is the fee that you pay again to the broker for keeping the position open overnight. So there are some drawdowns in Forex that they are not in futures market. So maybe in the future, I want to balance those out, and I want to like experience both. What else did I want to say? I do have my notebook here, and I was just like making some notes before I started the live to like get you guys going and share like some recent thoughts of mine. So another recent thought of mine is that when trading, one of the most important things that you need, except from capital, is the mindset. The capital will get you started, but the mindset will keep you going. Imagine if you're trading like a huge amount of capital without the right mindset. What will happen? The capital will like vanish like smoke in the air before you even know it, just like that. So my advice to that is just take it slow. Don't go all in before you like master something. That's what I would say. After 2 years almost of trading, I have searched and I have looked up some of the instruments that my Forex broker allowed me to access. And practically what I was looking for was instruments that looked aesthetic. Because I am trading a trendline strategy, I want my charts to look aesthetic. I want my instruments to look aesthetic. And I want my instruments to also respect my trend lines. And after a lot of trial and error, the instruments that I found that worked for me and the ones that I am trading now are 4, and there are oil, gold, Euro USD, and GBP JPY. I am going to go over them in today's live stream, and we're going to mark them all together. So just let's get started, I guess. This was a really nice introduction. I feel like I should make introductions like that all the time. All right. We have our charts on the screen. Let me just check the live stream again and see what's up. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going first of all, this is my watch list: oil, gold, your USD, and GBP, JPY. I am going to delete all the lines that I have on every chart, and I'm going to redraw them because they have been there for a while. So first thing I do is I am going to draw some support and resistance. Let's just do that. I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame, and let's just start from the daily. So let's just see what we can find. So one point of support and resistance that I had also previously marked it up. So what I do is like I delete everything from my charts, and I just watch them again at the beginning of the week to like maybe have a fresh eye on everything. And if I miss anything, then I would catch it right here, right now. So most of the lines are going to be the same, the ones that I deleted. However, it's good to always like check the charts fresh with no lines and just redraw them again once in a while. That's what I do. So I'm going to draw my support and resistance, and obviously right here we can see we have a resistance, and over here we have a support. Could this also be a place of support and resistance? Let me just look at the 4-hour time frame to like see things a little bit deeper. Okay, this is not exactly an area of support and resistance. We do have a little bit of resistance and then support, but the thing is that right here, because gold has obviously been in a long uptrend and it has never touched these areas, I don't really have much data. So this could be a future area of support and resistance, but as of now, I'm not gonna mark it up. I'm going to focus more here because here is where price has fluctuated recently. What else can I draw? Okay, I feel like this could be an area of support and resistance. Resistance here, support here, and then support before the price went up. I literally do not have much lines on my screen. I just have like 2 or 3 lines of support and resistance, and then we're going to go in with the trend lines. So could this also be an area of support and resistance? I mean, price has definitely resisted this point here and has acted as support, here as resistance, and here as support again. But it has crossed this point too many times, and I don't really feel confident into drawing that. To be honest, as I said before, we don't really have much data going on here. So I am just going to keep the lines of support and resistance as they are. Maybe in this week we're going to see some resistance right here. Who knows? So let me just go in with my trend lines. And I'm using Ray in TradingView. And what we're going to do is create the upward trend lines and the downward trend lines of the chart. Okay. I literally didn't want my charts to look like 100% perfect. This is not my goal. But it's good if they look aesthetic. So here we have an upward line, and I am going to set an alert, and I'm going to say something like gold is going down. So in case price crosses this trend line, I get an alert on my watch that I am not wearing right now, but if you watch some of my previous live streams, I definitely wear that. Okay, let's go in a little bit steeper, and at the end we're going to discuss some potential moves or what I think will happen. Obviously, I can track the price of gold even steeper with this trend line and with even one more trend line, but for me, the steeper the trend line it is, the less effect it has. So obviously I could go in and do that, but it doesn't make so much sense to me. So I'm just going to keep 3 upward trend lines for now. They are a lot, to be honest, but I'm just going to keep them as it is and say again the same thing. Gold is going down. All right, all right, all right. So previously in gold, we had this trend line, and you're going to see something interesting right now. Okay. Let me make this red because this is going to be our downward trend line. And as you can see, gold had created 3 touch points on this downward trend line. It crossed, and then it tried to make a retest, but not really. Maybe if we look at the daily time frame, we can see a retest. Let me just check. Okay, not exactly a retest, but it almost did a retest before it went all the way up. So I had this trend line previously drawn. It was accurate at the time. It helped me do my thing at the time. It was valid, but right now it's not. So I'm just going to, I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to draw a downward trend line because we're almost at an all-time high. So I do believe that gold is going to go all the way up. So I'm just going to delete that. We don't have a downward trend line on gold. This is crazy. And let's see if the steeper line here actually makes sense. No, it does not. Doesn't make sense to me. So we're just going to keep it as it is. So my thoughts on gold, I'm going to get into a trade into gold. Probably not, because it is at an all-time high. Who knows what gold will do. I want a downward trend line to be created before I enter any positions, obviously. So I'm taking it really slow. All right. Let's check oil. So right now we're looking at oil. So let me delete again all of my lines on the charts. Oof. And here we have some work to do. What is oil going to do this week? I haven't placed a trade in oil this month in May. And that's interesting because I feel like oil is my most traded instrument. However, this month it was gold for me and then Euro USD. So let me just check for some lines of support and resistance. All right, so okay. Looking at the daily time frame, I could say that this is a line of support and resistance, like somewhere around here. But this is like really way too far from the current price. So I'm not even bothering drawing my lines right here. I'm going to go straight into the 4-hour time frame and check what is going to happen. So let's see what we got. So obviously oil is not looking really aesthetic lately, to be honest. It is definitely not. Okay. Let's just draw one support and resistance line right here. We can also draw one down here, but here's the thing with oil that gets me annoyed. I can't easily spot areas of support and resistance. This is just simply, this chart is not looking as aesthetic as I want it to be. Could this be an area of support and resistance? We had resistance here and we had support over here. And here we do have some resistance, to be honest. Maybe we're sticking into a range. I don't know. Okay, for now, I am going to draw this line over here. This does not look 100% accurate to me, guys. But what kind of areas do we have for support and resistance? Could we have this? I would say this is more accurate, to be honest. It doesn't look really aesthetic, but this is more accurate. Okay, so these are some, like, again, even here, we could draw a line of support and resistance. Price resisted all the way back in 2023 here, Then it crossed. I'm not really feeling confident about this chart, to be honest. I'm not feeling confident about any lines right here. Okay, let's just take a look at this recent snapshot and not like look all the way back. And what I'm going to do is I am going to transfer my line exactly right here. I could say that this is like a clear line of support and resistance. Support, 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 and then resistance, resistance before it fell. And yeah, I'm gonna keep these lines, these three lines there. The distance that they have, the one from another, is looking aesthetic, so I'm just gonna keep them there. And let's just draw the trend lines. So as you've noticed, I haven't really put any alerts on my support and resistance lines, and this is just because it really messes with my psychology when a line crosses a support and a resistance. Okay, we're gonna go straight up to this point right here and draw this little trend line. Please go into the position. Perfect. So again, same concept. I'm just going to write oil is going down. There you go. Could I also track it any steeper? I feel like yes. Yes, I can. Okay, this is almost 90 degrees, so it doesn't really make sense for me. I'm going to delete it for now and wait for price to actually show me what it wants to do in the future. But I have to draw a downward trend line. So as you can see, there was like, oh, maybe there's going to be words. Maybe a downward trend line is going to be created that has multiple touch points right here, and price could be squeezed in, say, this triangle. We will see what happens, but I am definitely keeping an alert on this one because this is an interesting trend line. So oil is going up. There you go. Perfect. We have our support and resistance lines. We have one main trend line that goes up and one main trend line that goes down. So this is looking really nice to me. Let's go into our Forex pairs, EURUSD and GBP/JPY. Oh my God, this looks like like too much for me. Let me just delete everything. Remove 10 drawings. Okay, 10 drawings. That are a lot of drawings. These are a lot of drawings. Okay, looking at the daily time frame, we can clearly identify some support and resistance lines. So let me just draw them up real quick. We can draw a trend line right exactly here, I guess. Yep, this looks about right. This could also be a line of support and resistance. Resistance, support, support, support. The thing is that it has crossed this point way too many times. So for me, the support and resistance here is not really playing an important role, a huge role. It plays a role, but this, especially this line that has been crossed multiple times, I don't know if it is gonna stay accurate in the future. So maybe I will move it, but let's just take a look for other points. Okay, so I could draw one here all the way here, and I could draw one around here. I'm just gonna draw this one. And I feel like, yeah, 3 support and resistance lines. It's looking good, it's looking aesthetic, so I'm just gonna keep it as it is. Give me a second, everybody. All right. Let's draw now our trend lines. Ray. Okay, could we draw a trend line from all the way down here? Okay, now this is like we're almost at a 2021. We're at 2021, which is like really old. I'm going to delete this trend line for now, and let me just draw. Let's go actually to the 4-hour time frame. See things closer. Okay. And I'm gonna put an alert saying that Euro USD is going up. It will probably cross this line really soon, but I'm just keeping it there until I find point B that actually sticks. Come on. All right. Here we have our upward trend line. I'm gonna put a green color so we know that it's upward. Boom. Come on. I hate when TradingView does that. Well, let me just delete it. Delete the magnet thing. Okay. There you go. Perfect. You can see that multiple upward trend lines can be created. So I feel like this is kind of accurate because it kind of has like a solid point A and a solid point B. So I want to see if it breaks. And I'm going to put an alert on it just to know. Euro USD is going down. So the previous trade that I had with Euro USD was where was it? It was here. Yeah, it was this chunk right here. It was a 15 euro win, and I closed my trade because of the news. I didn't want to really gamble. It doubled and it went all the way up, but I'm glad I capitalized on my money and I didn't really gamble. So last but not least, let's go ahead and check GBP JPY. What do we have here? Oh, it looks kind of similar with Euro USD, to be honest. Let me delete the drawings and let's start again with some support and resistance. Marking up charts can be like a little tedious. I enjoy doing that on my own, no talking, just some like soft music, maybe lo-fi music, techno music, I don't know. And just like look at the charts and like place my trend lines in the mornings, adjust them, and yeah, it is what it is. Definitely a line of support and resistance here. A line of support and resistance here. What else do we have? Maybe a line of support and resistance here. Okay. I don't have anything else. Like I cannot mark this up as resistance or this point as resistance. It's obviously not accurate. So same thing with gold actually here. We cannot really draw a downward trend line. We can only draw upward trend line. So I'm just gonna place this trend line here. And I feel like this is the only accurate thing that we have for now. I can go again all the way and just do that. And although the points are looking solid for me, like a solid point A and a solid point B, it's really too steep for me. So this is probably like an interesting live stream because I don't really have any move to show you. The market just opened. We're almost done with our chart analysis, and I cannot really find any potential moves, to be honest. Oil is looking interesting. Like if it goes all the way up here and then it bounces, and it moves in this triangle, and then like it breaks this red trend line, then yes, we're gonna have an interesting trade, and maybe I will take that setup. But looking at all of the other instruments, I mean, gold is all the way up, EURUSD is probably gonna go all the way up, and GBP the same thing. And I'm waiting for oil to do the same. So maybe we're gonna have a trade in oil. It's early for me to say. But do I wanna? I cannot even track it even steeper because it's gonna be like 90 degrees. And I don't wanna do that because obviously it is gonna break within the first hour or so. So I'm just gonna keep it as it is, and I'm gonna place my alerts, and I'm gonna say GBPJPY is going down. The energy for me right now is really low. My mental capacity is absolutely nothing. But I am glad I did this mini rant in the beginning of the live stream, so you guys have like something kind of interesting to watch. Yeah, oil for me looks the most promising right now, to be honest. Let's just take a last look at all the instruments. Gold all the way up, USD all the way up. I'm not taking this trade, way too risky for me. Perfect. This was like a really anticlimactic chart analysis. I wanted to do a deep dive and analyze the trends, but since I'm only trading for instruments, I feel like I've shown you guys so many times the trends of these instruments, and this is like really important actually, because it matters if you're really watching the instruments that you trade for a long period of time, because you really build a relationship with the instrument, if you just know what I mean. So for me to only trade for instruments, it's easy, practical. I know I can remember what the price of each and every instrument is doing. I have my alerts set. I done my analysis for the week. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to readjust my trend lines as the week progresses. And if I find a good setup, maybe in oil, I will take that setup and I will let you guys know. Thank you so much for joining today's live stream. And I am going to see you the very next time. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.